recording. Okay, welcome to part 2 of learning Blender. Yep, this is part 2. What did I call it? I called it Echo. Okay, well, let's shit. This ain't going so well. Am I clipping? You guys, I guess I'll just deal with it in post. Alright, well, welcome to part 2 of Blender. Me learning Blender, part 2. Everyone loves donuts. That's the title of this live stream. We're going to continue our adventures into the Blender Guru Donut Spectacular tutorial. I feel like I'm like not in the right framing of this. Did I move the camera? Let's see. Okay. Well, there we go. Well, let's go to my project and you can see that we are still have the coffee mug and the donut. Let's see if we can still remember inputs and outputs. All right, middle mouse button, click, shift, pan and shift, middle mouse button, pan, scroll wheel, zoom. Let's see, select an object, and if I'm like over here, numpad period, right? Boom. Nope. Period. Boom. Oh, there we go. All right, we got that figured out. Tab is edit. Is it Shift A? Yes, that's how you add a mesh, right? All right. So yeah, we still know the interface pretty well from yesterday. We're actually loading some stuff. So what we did, we made a Taurus. How do you say that? Shift A, mesh. Yeah, a torus for our donut shape, and then we give this a mod. Nope, we didn't give it the modifiers. We give it more detail. Yeah. And this one, we made a simple cylinder, removed the lid, and then gave 2 modifiers, the solidify modifier, which is how thick it is, I think, and the subdivision modifier, which gives us more of these, makes it more round, more soft edges, and then we had to do some loop cuts. Let's see, if we go to tab, see, you can see a loop cut there, a loop cut there, and then was that one? Was that one I? Yeah, I. So we don't want to do that. What was that short for? I. Interpolate? We'll probably have to go back. Oh, individual, no, let's see, I. I wish it said something, and then L is loop cut, right? Nope. L, nope. I, nope, that's an offset, right? I. Nope, how did we make a loop cut again? I'm pretty sure we could just go here, right? And sort face. Knife, that's a cut. Loop cut. Control R. Shortcut, shift spacebar. Oh, that's for that. Control R. Oh, see, control R. I don't know why that, oh, what am I doing there? Nope. Shit. Control Z. Alright, well, I screwed something up. Anyways, let's go back to watching the Blender Guru's video.
Welcome back. It is time to make our coffee mug look like a coffee mug and not like a sad little cup.
Okay.
So we could try
We
to model this
could.
from our imagination. Because, like, hey, we all pick up coffee mugs. We know what they look like, or we think we know what they look like. Something that you learn very quickly in 3D is that when you model something from imagination, it almost always comes out looking a little bit
So
funny.
he's just
And the reason
explaining
for
it,
that
right?
is that your brain is very good at like abstracting away the information that isn't important to it. Like if you just close your eyes right now and just think of a doorknob, like what does a doorknob look like, right? If you had to make one in Blender, what would it
A
be? Like,
flat
okay, well, it's like a
sphere.
sphere bit. You like grip it, you turn it, and there's like a cylinder thing at the back, and there's a cylinder that connects it, and that's
Yeah.
kind of
And a
it.
keyhole and an
But then if you were
indent.
to make that, you end up with something that
Depending
looks
what door.
really
Yeah.
basic and boring and bad. And then you go actually look at a real doorknob and you
You got
forget there's all this other
scuffs.
detail that's just not important to your brain. Like the little lip
Yeah.
inside, the little hole that's on there that's so you can put a key in to kind of like pry it open, or like a rim that kind of like cuts into it. So there's like a separate seam around
Yeah.
it. There's the privacy lock on the front. All these things that just don't matter to you when you're turning a handle, and so you
Privacy
forgot that
lock?
they even
What the hell's a
existed because you
privacy
never
lock?
even saw it really. So the
What
same
do you
thing
mean,
applies to
privacy
even
locked?
something as common as a coffee mug. So it helps when possible to use reference images. Now, you can get reference images from anywhere because we have the power of the internet. And you can type in handmade coffee mug and you can pick any mug you want to create. There's a lot. And, you know, if you want to pick one of these, if you want to just go on Google Images, you can pick one of these and go for it. I'm going to give you an image that I've used, but you can, there's some really pretty ones here. And I
And
was
some really ugly
actually
ones too.
shocked just whilst like clicking on some of these sites before. I was like, oh yeah, like that's a cute little handmade mug. And then you go like, oh my god, $123.25, and that's a discount from 145.
They
And then you
must
think
not
like,
be
oh, it must be like a one
collector's
of one,
edition
like,
Birch
you know, a
Forest
unique thing.
mug.
Like, no, there's like 9 reviews. Like, people are buying it. I'm like, I don't know. I gotta make more money or something. Like, I don't know how people are buying $123 coffee mugs. I think it's also like we forget what labor costs, you know? Like you think like a coffee mug is like $2, right? Or $1, or it's free. Like it's just, there's so many of them, it doesn't even matter. But like, no, like to hand make something, like obviously any of
Yeah,
these
but
mugs, they take more than a few hours to make if you're making it by hand. So like, yeah, $33 is
100,
probably like break
125
even for
maybe.
them. I don't, probably not even making any money, but it's just like, yeah, anyways, whole side topic of like the economy of handmade ceramic mugs, but people are buying for $123. All right, so all that is to say is I want you to get an image, and the one I'm going to use, the link for this is below, and it's on my website. I've got all the links to everything we're going to be using in this tutorial. But there's 2 ways to add images. So one way is to go to the add
Okay.
menu and then just go image.
Cool. We're doing this. Let's see. Scroll down. Blender Guru. He said all links. Jump over there. Unstuck yourself guide. What's that? Oh, is this just like frequently asked questions? Okay. Keyboard shortcut cheat sheet. I need that. Let's see. Cup reference image. Let's see. Why did you choose this one? Probably because you have like some texture. Good on lighting. Maybe. Alright, well let's Can I just copy the image? Let's see what he does.
Image and then say reference, and then you just pick wherever the reference is, and you can drop it in.
So I have
The
to save it.
alternative way, and it's something that we didn't used to be able to do, and that's to just drag over from wherever it is on your computer. And
I'm gonna have to save it. Lame. Save image. It's not even a. It's a. What the? Copy image link. Paste it. Let's do it that way. Save image as. Help Blender. Oh, you guys don't see what I'm seeing, but it's a WebP file. And I usually hate dealing with those. They're just stupid. Can I just save it as a JPEG and call it a day? What should I call it? Coffee cup underscore ref dot sure dot JPEG. Did that work? Let's open it up. It worked. Well, that it'll work that way. All right. So now he says to come over here.
yeah,
So you can just drag and drop
into Blender, and it will recognize it as an image, and it will bring it in as an image object. So either of those ways will work. So this is the image. This is the one we're going to use. Now, if you quickly orbit around, you'll notice that it's come in at a funny angle. Now, but I don't know why Blender does this. I think it's because they think people want it locked to the perspective that they were at when they brought it in there. But I've never needed that. So we just need to clear this rotation and then rotate.
All right, so let's try emulating that, right? Imitating, emulating. Shit. It's too late at night. Drop. Image object can only be added. Oh, okay. Tab. Drop. Oh. It's big. It's a big mama jumper. Okay, now let's continue.
Rotate it to the way we want. So to clear the rotation, I'm going to hit Alt-R. The alternative way, Object, Clear, Rotation, Alt-R, same thing. Now it's flat. So now we need to rotate it, prop it upright so that it is flat onto, how it should be relative to the scene. So I need to rotate it. So I'm going to hit R.
Z?
So but we're now in freehand rotate mode, and it's relative to where we were looking at it, which is this funny angle. So if you remember from before, when we're in a move state, like rotate, scale, or grab, we can lock something to a specific axis whilst we're in this mode by just tapping the letter of that axis. And if you don't know the letter, you can see we really want it on this red line here, and that red top right hand corner, that is the X axis. So I'm going to hit
Can you do it like degrees? No.
So now it is locked to that axis, which is good. And now we want it to be 90 degrees. So you could either hold down Control, and you can see in the top, what that does is that's now moving it in 5-degree increments. Or you could just type in the number 90 on your keyboard and then hit Enter. And there we go. So that's how we bring it in and clear the rotation and set it up. So, all right.
Okay.
Now it's way too big. So hotkey to scale something, S. Okay, S to scale. And now I'm just going to scale this down. And I can't see my mug. So my mug is behind it. So let me just move my mug. I'll move my mug forward. So let's move it forward to there. Okay. All right. And then now, I'm going to look at it like front on. Okay, so I can do that by clicking this little -Y at the top there. That'll do front on. Or the hotkeys, because I use my numpad. For those of you blessed with a numpad, you'll like it. You can hit numpad 1, that's front view. Numpad 3, that's side view. Or numpad 7, that is top view.
We already found that out last week.
And you can use these if you don't have it.
Or last week.
Okay,
yesterday.
So front view. And then I'm going to scroll in to zoom. shift middle mouse to pan to the side. And now I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to scale this down again to get it roughly to be the size of
So,
my mug here. Because I know that this mug is right relative to the donut, so it should be good. And then what I'm looking at for the size of this image here
how do we,
is I want
what was move again? G
to
for
move
grab.
this over here. And
Okay. So, G for grab.
I'm going to scale this down again to get it roughly to be the size of my mug here. Because I know that this mug is right relative to the donut, so it should be good. And then what I'm looking at for the size of this image here is I want the top of this rim here to roughly match the bottom down there. So this, like, I want that to match that. So it's still a little bit too big. And you'll notice I can't really easily do it from this angle. I mean, I can, but the problem is that this photograph is taken with a camera from the real world where there is perspective. But we are looking in 3D, and actually when we're in an axis like this, the reason it all becomes flattened is because it is in perspective mode. If you click that little button there, that'll actually put you back into perspective mode, and you can see how things get distorted and like angles and things. So the best reference is actually reference, which is in orthographic, like blueprints for something, but you usually don't have that, so you just go from something like this and just kind of best guess it. Anyways, okay, cool. So that's roughly the right size of image. Now we can model by going into edit mode, by hitting tab, toggle in and out of edit mode, and we can start to shape this to look like this mug here. So the first thing that we'll notice is like the general broad shape of the mug is that it actually kind of tapers towards the top. Both lines are kind of tapered upwards. And then there's a kind of a midpoint around about here where it starts to invert and it goes in the other direction. Okay?
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's a very smooth object and perfect for using subsurf modifier, which is what we've already got. So to get that taper going up to the side, I want to shrink the top of the mug here just a little bit. So I'm going to hold down Alt, and I'm going to go into Edge Select mode at the top there, and then Alt, and then just left click on that line there. Not on like a middle point like here, or it'll select a different edge.
You mean this line?
The middle there. And then now I want to scale this in to just shrink the size just a little bit.
Can I add S?
So I'm going to scale that to there. And then I'm going to select the line underneath it, and I'm going to do the same thing. So Alt, click on that line, that edge, and then just scale it, about halfway.
Go back here and then go scale.
Now I want to create this like widened point right here. And you can see like from here, like this.
Alt, this line? So why are we doing Alt and not just clicking? Oh, because that's moving Alt. Dang, okay. Now if we hit, whoa, shit. What the fuck?
Like this,
let's see what he did. What did he do?
Click. And then I'm going to select the line underneath it, and I'm going to do the same thing. So Alt, click on that line, that edge, and then just scale it, about halfway there. Now I want.
So he's scaling it.
Scale it, about halfway there. Click.
I didn't even see him
I'm going to select
anything.
the line underneath it, and I'm going to do the same thing. So Alt, click on that line, that edge.
Oh, so yeah, he's bringing
it
in. He's like going super slow. So, Alt, click on. Oops. So, shit. There we go. Stupid junk. So Alt selects all. That's what it does. And then we're gonna hit scale. Then if I hold shift, it should go slow, right? About halfway, he said. Sure, that gives it a nice taper. Yeah.
There. Now I want to create.
Now he's gonna go
this like widened point right here.
So he's gonna do it
like,
right here.
From here, like there's a lip at the bottom, but
he's
like
gonna
from
add
here to
another
here,
loop cut.
and then it goes up. I'd say probably 20% up the mug. That's where that middle point is. So this line is close, but I'd probably pull it up a little bit. So I'm going to double tap G, and that'll let me slide that edge there.
Double tap G.
And I'll
Ooh,
put it
look
to,
at that.
yeah, it's about there. And now I
I'm
want
way
to pull
off.
it
It should
out
be
to
like
make it
right
a
about here.
little bit thicker. So I'm going to hit S and just pull that out
S. Let's do,
to about there. And now
get
I
a
can
little
see this line
fatty.
here is not quite right. So I'm going to scale this one out as well, just a little bit. Okay, that's roughly the right shape. Okay, now this bit at the bottom here. Okay, so I can see already that I need a little bit more detail. So I'm actually going to have to slide this line up here. So I'm going to hit double G to just kind of slide it up, and I'm going to pull it to about there. You can
So
see now
he's
we've
gonna
got
do
kind
this
of a
one.
more curved taper on that edge there, and I'm going to hit S to scale. I'm going to double tap G again. And I'm just by eye, just guessing to try to get this form here.
Okay, so double G. Let's see. Alt select, double G, and then right about there, right? And then we could go, oops. Let's bring that in just a little bit right there, right? We're gonna go Alt, double G, right about there, and then we're gonna bring the bottom one in.
But you can see you can very quickly start to shape any sort of object you want by just moving, sliding lines around.
What did you do?
On that, I'm going to pull it to about there. You can see now we've got kind of a more curved taper on that edge there, and I'm going to hit S to scale. I'm going to double.
Oh, so he's scaling it in. Did I scale it in? I don't remember. S. Okay, I can't go too far because then it looks fat. Okay, let's scale this out a little bit. There we go.
And double tap G again. And I'm just by eye, just guessing to try to get this form here. But you can see you can very quickly start to shape any sort of object you want by just moving, sliding lines around and scaling things. Okay,
There
so
we
now
go.
obviously this face at the bottom here. So if I go into face select mode or by just hitting 3, this has to be
I gotta hit
this
G
little,
twice.
lip.
Oh,
What
so
do you call that?
there
I
you
guess like
go.
a lip.
If you hit
Word
G
for it.
once,
All the pottery
doesn't let
people
you do
watching
this along the
tutorial
body.
Gonna tell me what it is, and they'll also tell me about the price of
There you
manual
go.
labor and why that coffee mug.
So if you didn't see what happened, what I did, right, is I hit Alt and selected the line, but I only hit G. Oh shit. Oh, I hit it. Hidden. Oh, okay. Whew. So I went Alt, selected the line, and then hit G to grab it, right? If you don't hit double G, you just hit it once, it does this. Whoa! Do 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 do. Okay, but if I hit G again, it only lets me go on the path on the vortices. I don't on the same one, same line, same path. I don't know how to explain that, but
To shape any sort of object you want by just moving, sliding lines around and scaling things. Okay, so now obviously this face at the bottom here. So if I go into face select mode or by just hitting 3, this has to be this little lip at the bottom there. What do you call that? I guess like a lip.
yeah,
Probably
sure.
a word for it. All the pottery people watching this tutorial are gonna tell me what it is, and they'll also tell me about the price of manual labor and why that coffee mug was quite well priced, I'm sure. Anyways, I'm going to, yeah, I'll scale it in a little bit. I'm just trying to guess, like, where would it start? But, you know, you just do it by eye. I think about there.
So,
Okay, and now with this face here selected, I need more geometry.
there we
so I
go,
want to actually
yeah.
pull it out from that face.
So we're going to extrude.
But I can't just like pull it down, right? Because now it's stretching it. I need more geometry.
E.
And so that is called an extrusion.
Haha.
And thankfully, the hotkey for extrusion is just the first letter of its name, which is E. E for extrusion.
Woo,
Just like
look at
insane
that.
everything else
Oh,
in Blender,
shit.
the moment you tap it, you're now in that mode. I can pull it upwards. I can pull it downwards. Obviously, downwards is what we want. So I'm going to do a single click right there. Okay.
So E.
And then now, if I go back and just look at it in object mode, and by the way, if you want to see it like the donut, you want to make it look smooth, you can as well by going to Shade Smooth. And that's okay, but you can see that this line here, this is a much tighter line, okay?
Yeah.
And the reason that this is happening is, of course, because of Subsurf Modifier and the way that it works. It's essentially going from here to here, and then kind of like, I guess, like a midpoint in the middle there, and it's trying to taper from there all the way in. But then also from this point here, it now has to taper from there to kind of smooth out that line. So we end up with just kind of like this like very
let's go
smoothed
back.
out little
Back,
nub.
right? We got
But
this
to
little
fix
nice
it, we just
nub.
have to add in more geometry so that it doesn't
And then we're
start
gonna
the
go.
smooth so much further up. So to do that, we need another
Oh,
loop
see,
cut, which you
there
might
we
remember
go.
the hotkey, or you can find it in the menu, Edge, Loop Cut, and Slide, but it is Control R. So Control R.
What's going on? Why does it do that? Control Z, right? Let's go back. So let's go 3 and select the face, and then we do E. But if I just leave it like that, it looks good. And then pull it down. I also think it should probably be title in like this. Like, let's make it. Oh, see, when I click on the middle mouse. Alright, so let's do this. Oh, other way. There we go. Let's do scale and scale it in more. Now we do E. Now it got the butt. Oh, no, 2. 2 is cool. Now we're going to do Alt. And then we're going to do double G. Going to bring this down here and then do Alt, double G. Oh, no! And then what? S. Oh, no. Double G. Just bring it right there and then do S and scale it. Let's tab out. Jeez. Well, I like how that looks.
When you're in this mode, where do you want to put it first? So do a single click on this face here. So click, and then it's now saying where do you want to slide it to. So I'm going to slide 1 to the bottom.
Let's go back
Like so,
and see what
I'll
he's talking
scale it
about.
in a little bit. I'm just trying to guess like where would it start, but you know, you just do it by eye. I think about there. Okay, and now with this face here selected, I need more geometry because I want to actually pull it out from that face there. But I can't just like pull it down, right? Because now it's stretching it. I need more geometry.
Yeah,
and
sure.
so that is called an extrusion. And thankfully, the hotkey for extrusion is just the first letter of its name, which is E. E for extrusion. And just like insert and everything else in Blender, the moment you tap it, you're now in that mode. I can pull it upwards. I can pull it downwards. Obviously, downwards is what we want. So I'm going to do a single click right there. Okay. And then now, if I go back and just look at it in object mode, and by the way, if you want to see it like the donut, you want to make it look
so let's just
smooth,
do the
you can
same
as
thing
well by
he
going
did,
to
right?
Shade Smooth. And that's okay, but you can see that this line here, this is a much tighter line, okay? And the reason
E,
that this is
and then
happening
E
is, of
moved it
course,
down,
because of
like
subsurf modifier and the way that it works. It's essentially going from here to here, and then kind of like, I guess, like a midpoint in the middle there, and it's trying to taper from there
then,
all the way in. But then also from this point here, it now has to taper from there to kind of smooth out that line. So we end up with just kind of like this like very smoothed out little nub. But to fix it, we just have to add in more geometry so that it doesn't start the smooth so much further up. So to do that, we need another loop cut, which you might remember the hotkey, or you can find it in the menu, Edge, Loop Cut, and Slide, but it is Control R. So Control R, when you're in this mode, where do you want to put it first? So do a single click on this face here. So click.
You said another loop
and
cut, right?
it's like very smoothed out little nub. But to fix it, we just have to add in more geometry so that it doesn't start the smooth so much further up. So to do that, we need another loop cut, which you might remember the hotkey, or you can find it in the menu, Edge, Loop Cut, and Slide, but it is Control R. So Control R, when you're in this mode, where do you want to put it first? So do a single click on this face here. So click, and then it's now saying where do you want to slide it to. So I'm going to slide one to the bottom, like so, and then I need another one right above it. So I did a click there to confirm it. So I'm going to hit Control R, and now placing it on the exact same place, and I'm just going to pull it up. And there we go. And now you can see it's much tighter at the bottom there, and it looks good. And if you really wanted to clean up this bottom base there, you can see we kind of got that like starfishy pattern happening. You could do the same thing we did before, which is select that face there and then do an inset. It's not really that essential. No one's really going to notice it, but you might, and maybe you want to clean it up. So, yeah. But that's pretty good.
That's not good.
Great. That's a good start to the mug. It looks
No.
good. Awesome. Hold on. Now.
No. 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 Let's see. I don't like it one bit. Maybe it's because my extrusion was so bad. See, the problem is, yeah, maybe it's that. I think that looks better, right? Right? Do you guys like that? Ends at the same point, right? Now we do the extrusion. Move it down. Right, and then that ends sort of right there. And then Control R gives us the loop cut. Oh, that was cool. Whatever that was. Let's confirm that. Control R, loop cut. And then right there. And we're gonna want one down here, right? You said towards the bottom. We don't want to put it at the bottom, but towards the bottom. And conform it, and then oops. Control R again. Now tab. It looks better. A lot better. Does it look like his? I think mine's a little taller. Maybe. Good enough. Yeah, I think it. See, it's a little. See, this actually tapers. If you look at it, it actually goes like. See, this side goes. Yeah, it sort of goes. Doesn't taper out. It's sort of just like a straight line out, right? This one, it could just be. Let's see if it's just the. Oh shit, man! I'm getting bad at navigation. Okay, it's a straight line down too. Okay. It looks like it almost goes in and then out. Yeah. All right.
Now it's
Let's move
time
on.
for the challenge of making this handle. So you can see it starts about here and then obviously extrudes around and goes back into itself and is joined here. So how do we do this? So basically, whenever there is a join, and you can see there's like, you know, like a nice like bevel edge there kind of thing, it has to physically be part of the geometry of this. You can't just have it like existing out in space, because then it won't appear to be joined together. So essentially we have to find somewhere on this mesh to start the handle from. And that point is actually here, right here, which is why I've modeled it this way. Right here is where I'm going to extrude out. Now, before I show you how to extrude it, I first of all want to show you.
Oh shit!
I'm going to do something and it's going to mess it up, and I'm going to then show you why we need to do something else first before we start extruding. So if I was to extrude this out, we could do the whole handle here, get it back there, make it look perfect, and then later on look at our mug and go, "Oh no, what is going on?" The reason this happens is because of, you might remember, the solidify modifier, which these modifiers, they're not part of the mesh, right? It's happening after
the mesh,
after the fact. So it's adding a thickness to any mesh that we have here, and it's now adding a thickness to the actual handle itself. So how do we fix that? We fix that by making this go from a modifier to real, like actually bake it into the mesh so that it's actually real geometry. And the way you do that is, first of all, let me just undo all of those. Control Z, of course. The way you do it is by going to the modifier and then in the little drop down in the top there, right next to that little camera icon, there is an apply. So when you click that, it's disappeared. And now when you go into edit mode though, you can see all that geometry that wasn't there before is now actually part of it. And you can see it if you turn off the subsurf modifier. So I can now make changes to the inner part of my model there without it affecting the rest of it. So it's actual real mesh that we can.
But you can't do it inside edit mode.
It's no longer non-destructive. So that slider that we had for changing the thickness of the mug, we no longer have the slider. It would just mean if we wanted to change the thickness of the mug, we would have to like do it ourselves, like selecting all that stuff and doing it. But that's fine. You have to break the workflow eventually to add in customization. But there you go. So anyways, now that I've got this, now when I select this face here, I can start to do the extrusion. So
we're gonna
make sure you're selecting the right face. If you were to select this one by mistake and then start trying to do your handle and then like twist it around, it would start to get screwed up very, very quickly. So make sure that you've got this red line that's like intersecting your mug there.
Yeah.
That it is, like it's that one. It's like bang on to the middle. And you can actually check if you go into top view mode, it should be directly in the middle of the mug there. Okay, so with that selected, I'm going to go into front view mode with numpad 1, or hitting that little
and then hit
thing.
E.
And then I'm going to hit, again, the hotkey that we use for extrusion is E to extrude out. Now, when you do that, it's using the normals, the hidden, it's like the hidden direction of each of the faces that are on your mesh, okay?
Wait,
so
why
it's
is it going up and down?
like that. For most of you watching this, the extrusion there worked perfectly. But every now and then you go to extrude something and it doesn't work, and it's because there's something wrong with the normals of the face that you tried to extrude from. Basically, it would just mean you would have to clear the normals first. So basically, you would select the face, then hit Shift N, and it would clear normals. I've got, by the way, throughout this tutorial, you're going to run into a lot of problems that I might not be able to explain to you. So I've actually created a troubleshooting guide called the Unstuck Yourself Guide. So the link for that is below as well. But this is just like a database of all the problems you might run into whilst you're doing this tutorial. Because we noticed on the Blender Guru Discord, link for that is below as well, where you can ask questions and share your renders and stuff. But a lot of people are asking the same questions. So we put together this like FAQ troubleshooting guide, and please make use of that. So there'll probably be, when you're modeling things, people will run into issues. So just have a look at that if you run into an issue first. Anyways, sorry to really painfully slowly do this.
Oh shit!
Extruded out
what happened there? No.
Now I'm going to move this up. So just grabbing, so G to grab, I'm going to move up. And I might actually now, I'm going to tab out up to so that I can select my image. So I'm in object mode.
All right, hold up. Okay, well, back at the beginning, right? No extrusions, no nothing. Are you supposed to be... How do I reset this? Stupid. No. I wanted to move this guy. Oh, so if I do 0 right there. Nope. Zero. 0. 0. Alright, I don't know. I screwed something up. Anyways, let's try to go on. Apply. We have applied. We have officially applied. Let's just do this. Alright, well, whatever. We applied. And now we're going to do tab. No, don't select that. Now we're going to select it by going to 3, right? He did 3. Oh, nope. 3. He said Control N or Shift N? Nope, Shift N. So if I recalculate normals, right? Okay. Now I hit extra. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go, guys. We got it. Oh, see. Oh, see. There we go, guys. We got it. Let's go back. Let's go back again. Oh, no. This. And then we're going to go here. And then we're going to hit extrude. And he made a little penis. Yeah. My cup got a penis. Alright, now what does he say?
And I'm actually just going to move this over. So G and then X, move it over to be about there. Okay. And that'll just enable me to kind of see relative to the mug where it should go. Like, what is the shape? I could do it by eye, but yeah, I figure I might as well just, it's right there. Might as well just grab it.
So
and
he
pull it over.
goes.
So,
wait, how did he
position
tab
this
out?
Here, mug and that'll just enable me to kind of see relative
so he did tab out.
To the mug where it should go. Like,
okay, so tab. I hate that. This little thing I hate. I don't know what it does. I don't know how to set it back to 0. Like, shit, dude. Stop grabbing it. What is it called? Cursor. Set the cursor location. Drag to transform. Shift spacebar. Oh. I don't know. As this shortcut is spacebar, but spacebar plays the frames. Anyways, am I grabbing the right thing? Grab. And then I want to only move it on the X. Then I can move it over here. Grab X. Then he tabs in, right? He grabs this, tabs, and then he grabs this. He grabs the edge or the face. He probably does the face, right? He goes back to the face. Oh, shoot. And then he does grab, grab, right? Nope. Not grab, grab. Grab. There we go. Like that.
What is the shape? I could do it by eye, but yeah, I figure I might as well just, it's right there, I might as well just grab it and pull it
Oh,
over.
then he rotates it.
I need to position this about here, but you can see it's kind of getting like skewed, right? And that is because it's obviously coming in at like this slanted angle. So with that face selected, I need to rotate it. So I'm going to hit R to rotate, like so. Okay, so like that. All right, and I might, just trying to think. All right, I definitely need a loop cut because obviously that bit that's coming out looking like a nub on our mug there. So I'm going to hit Control R to create a loop cut, and I'm going to pull it down just so that I can see it's like where it should join, basically at the base there. All right, great. And now face select mode, select that face again. And now we just have to keep extruding around. But what I want to do is I want to scale, just make the handle look a little bit thinner. So I'm going to select this top edge here. And I'm going to double tap G just so that I can slide it downwards a little bit. To just make it a little bit thinner. Because that handle obviously doesn't look as fat as what we had there. So, all right, so face select mode now. And now I'm going to start to extrude. So another extrusion. G to reposition. R to rotate it. And I just want to rotate it so that it kind of follows the contours of this. So I'm going to be rotating it like this kind of angle as we go around.
Okay, so let's see. Let's, for funsies, try to do it before he completes it. Right, so he scaled down this, right? So he went 2 for edge, click here, S for scale. Oh, we don't want to go that way. Right? He didn't go through. Oh, shoot. Let's go here. Let's go. Oh, he was sort of like that, right? Did he bring it in like that? Is that what he did?
No, rotate. I'm going to start to extrude. So another extrusion. G to reposition. Mode doesn't look as.
Let's go back.
To just make here. I'm going to double tap G just so that I can slide it downwards a little bit. To just make it a little bit thinner.
See. You want to make it thinner. Double tap G, so we go down this way. Right? There we go. Now he went back to the faces, so he went back to 3. Grab here, right? Went 1. Extrude. Now we are. How did I shift it? Oh. How do you get freeform? Like shift extrude? Control. Let's try it.
Because that handle obviously doesn't look as fat as what we had there. So, all right, so face select mode now, and now I'm going to start to extrude. So another extrusion, G to reposition,
so
R to rotate it, and I just want to rotate it so.
alright, so let's do this. Let's do G, right? Nope. We want to go G. No, we don't want it. G. Can you like unreach? What if I did this? Arch. You can't go backwards. Is there like a push? Push. Nope. Or we could do Control R to create another loop cut, right? And go, yeah, we want it right there. Right, and now we're gonna do it right there. Cool. Let's go to 2. 3, I mean. Grab the face again. Right, and then do rotate, right? Nope.
So that it.
G, right? Yep, G. Grab the face, go here. G. G. Oh, shit. I'm cheating, guys. I don't know what I did. I did something wrong. G. Why is it not grabbing that vortices, huh? I'm about to give up. See, like, that makes no sense. Let's go back.
Right, so face select mode now look as fat as what we had there. So, all right, so face select mode now, and now I'm going to start to extrude. So another extrusion, G to reposition.
All right, maybe we just need to back up. Back that ass up. How far can we go back? Control R right there. That looks good right there, right? And then we're going to do edge select right there. Now we're going to do scale. All right, let's go back.
Art and select the join, basically a loop cut without looking like a nub on our mug there. So I'm going to hit Control R to create a loop cut, and I'm going to pull it down so I can see it's like where it should join, basically at the base there. All right, great. And now
Sure.
select that face again.
Okay.
And now we just have to keep extruding around. But what I want to do is I want to scale, just make the handle look a little bit thinner. So I'm going to select this top edge here. And I'm going to double tap G just so that I can
Yeah,
slide
so
it downwards a little
double
bit.
tap G, right? So he's like, oh, grab that, and then let's go 1, double tap G, and then just be like that. So now it's thin. Right. Honestly, this might be getting too far ahead of myself, but oh, let's go this way. We might have to come back to fixing that. So let's go extrude again, right? Go back to 2 or 3. Selecting this face. And then extrude, and then bring it out a little bit more. And then G. No. G. And then R. And then what? E. G. R. E. G, bring it down, rotate it, extrude again, G, E, and okay. Well, let's finish there and see what he does.
Make it a little bit thinner because that handle obviously doesn't look as fat as what we had there. So, all right, so face select mode now, and now I'm going to start to extrude. So another extrusion, G to reposition, R to rotate it, and I just want to rotate it so that it kind of follows the contours of this. So I'm going to be rotating it like this kind of angle as we go around.
Yeah, sure.
So now E to do another extrusion, click, G, click, R.
Okay.
Now, by the way, there is another way to extrude, which is actually kind of perfect for this. But if you hold down Control and then right-click, it will not only extrude, but it will also rotate the faces so that they align. And it can be a little helpful, a bit more easier than doing this like E, G, R, S, G, R. So just holding down Control and then right-click will just place these little points and we'll rotate them so that you don't have to do all that rotation yourself. It really only works for these kind of appendages like this, but might as well use it because it's a very handy way to do it. Okay, cool. So now the tricky bit. It's not really that tricky. It's relatively easy to solve, but it's a conundrum, right? Like, how do we make this mesh with the rest of the mesh? And you do that by, like, the wrong way to do this would be to just kind of smush them together, right? And this is kind of like early 3D stuff. Like, a lot of stuff was like this. They just kind of mashed stuff and intersected it together. But then you don't get that edge there where it catches the light. And the only way to really get that is to actually physically join this mesh together. So this face here has to be connected to this face somehow. And the easiest way in this case to do is to, first of all, we can see that
So like
this line
J.
here is like cutting into the middle of this this cup here, right? So we really need to just add a line that goes around there to make this area here like one face to match this handle. So I'm going to add that line by hitting Control R, loop cut, click, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to slide it up to be, you know, roughly about there. That's fine. And then now, because I've intersected it, that went too far. So I'm holding down Z. Now this is a way of quickly changing the mode that you're viewing something in. And we'll get to these other two once we get to materials,
So your
rendering and stuff.
wireframe.
But for now, if you just swap to wireframe mode, this will show you through the mesh. There is another way to see through a mesh, and that is to, at the top there, that little X-ray or Alt-Z is a hotkey for it. But that's another way to do it. But yeah, you can see that's wireframe, and then hang on a second. Nope, that's X-ray. This is wireframe. But yeah, they're pretty similar. Anyways, so I'm going to select my face here, and I'm just going to pull it out, just so that I can just grab it basically. And now I can go back to my solid view as before. Okay. So I touched on this briefly before, but like a mesh is made up of these individual points, right? This is what you're seeing when you're in vertice mode. These individual points.
So you're gonna like.
And each of those points, when you have 4 together, 3 or more actually, you can create a face.
I
so that's
see.
what that is. So
Make a
essentially, I need
face,
to create a new face for this section right here. So let's do that now. So I'm going to select those two, and I've just selected them by holding down Shift like this, and then I'm just going to hit F. F.
Whoa, that's cool. So like, let's do, I don't know, Control R, right? I don't want to add that many, but let's go here. Control R. Boom. I want to move that to right about there. And then he said, go to 1 for point and be like, okay, well, I want this point. Oops, yeah, nope. This point. Try to hold Shift. Okay, so I want that one, that one, that one, and that one, and hit F. And it doesn't make it circular. Let me try it for all of them and then see if he tells you how to fix it, right? F. So you're creating a face by the points. That is really cool, I think. That's pretty ugly. But what happens in the middle? Oh, look at, because I closed it off. Ooh. But now it's a little fat. It's a fatty. It's a fatty. But what happens? All right, so now we're gonna scroll, right? Okay, so that's 1 layer, that's 2 layers. It doesn't delete the inside.
For face. Okay, and then I can do the same on this side. Like that. And then I'm going to do the same on the top. And then I'm going to do the same underneath. Okay. All right, so I've done it. And I did it deliberately this way because I need to show you the reason for this issue here. So we've got, we've got the faces, so they should be going smoothly across here. But because of the way meshes work and the way they try to, the way smooth shading works is, it does it based on like a continuous flow of faces. And you will have noticed that when we created this, there was actually a face that is inside here before we joined it, okay? And I'll show you if we go into here. This area here, you should see there is a face that is right here. So because that exists, the smooth shader doesn't actually know that it's supposed to continue on because there's a face that goes down. So it's now kind of mixed. It doesn't know, like it has to create a smooth shading here, but then also one on the top there. And so it's done this weird hybrid thing where it's like it's tried to do it, but there's clearly something going on underneath. So what we need to do is just delete that face. So again, in face select mode, you select that inner face there. And by the way, when you're working in 3D, this is a really common thing beginners do, is they select the wrong face. So you can see how quickly that, like, they're right next to each other, that point there, right? But selecting one or the other, it just happens all the time. So a thing that a lot of 3D artists do is when they've selected something, before they delete it, you just do a quick orbit around, and that'll just like break the perspective, and just to verify that that is the actual one I mean to select. Okay, then I'm going to hit X and I'm going to say faces. Okay, but it's not just that one, right? Like that. I'm actually that should be fixed soon, but anyway, I'll show you how. And then there's one on the inside here as well. Okay, because when we joined it, there was a face here and there was a face over there. So I'm now going to delete that face by hitting X and then say faces. Okay, now that's done. This should be correct, but the reason it's not is, one, I think if I need to right click and say shade smooth, and that has fixed it. What can happen sometimes is when you've fixed up some geometry, you might need to recalculate the normals, like and again, to bring up the normals, there's a secret hidden line that every face on your object has, and they're always pointing outward like that. But when you've created new mesh and you've kind of fixed things or whatnot, you can end up with one of these lines that goes the wrong direction. And I'll show you that actually. If I just do this. That's what it might look like. You get this weird like black shading artifacts that's very ugly. So to fix that, you select your entire mesh and then you hit Shift N and that will recalculate it. And now you can see the smooth shading is correct. And just to show you quickly as well.
So what? Okay, so let's see.
Face by hitting X and then say faces. Okay, now that's done.
Oh, okay, so did I mess up?
You need to break the perspective something before they delete it. You just do a time. So a thing that a lot of 3D artists do is when they've selected something, before they delete it, you just do a quick orbit around, and that'll just like break the perspective, and just to verify that that is the actual one I mean to select. Okay, then I'm going to hit X and I'm going to say faces. Okay, but it's not just that one, right? Like that. I'm actually that should be fixed soon, but anyway, I'll show you how. And then there's one on the inside here as well. Okay, because when we joined it, there was a face here and there was a face over there. So I'm now going to delete that face by hitting X and then say faces. Okay,
there we go.
Now
and then he tabbed out and he went right click.
This should be correct,
smooth.
but the reason it's not is, one, I think if I need to right click and say shade smooth, and that has fixed it. What can happen sometimes is when you've fixed up some geometry, you might need to recalculate the normals, like and again, to bring up the normals, there's a secret hidden line that every face on your object has, and they're always pointing outward like that. But when you've created new mesh and you've kind of fixed things or whatnot, you can end up with one of these lines that goes the wrong direction. And I'll show you that actually. If I just do this. That's what it might look like. You get this weird like black shading artifacts that's very ugly. So to fix that, you select your entire mesh and then you hit Shift N.
So how do you select the entire mesh? What
to fix that, you select your entire mesh
and
then you hit Shift N and that will recalculate it.
Shift
and now you can see the smooth shading is correct. And just to show you quickly as well, the way I
does he just click off? Like, does he Shift and
end up with one of these lines that goes
what
the
does
wrong
he do?
direction.
Look at this bottom corner.
I'll show you that actually. If I just do this. That's what it might look like. You get this weird like black shading artifacts that's very ugly. So to fix that, you select your entire mesh and then you hit Shift N and that will recalculate it. And now you can see the smooth shading is
so correct. Does he just click out? Shift
and
N
that will recalculate it.
Tab.
And now you can see the smooth shading is correct.
Okay.
And just to show you quickly as well, the way I did it just then, where we like created it and then we deleted the faces, don't do this. I'm just going to show you. Like actually what you would do, because it's not this tedious normally. If you had this problem, you would actually select this face and this face first. You delete them ahead of time. And then actually, and there's a faster way to have created this join here. You can select that entire edge loop with Alt, then Shift Alt, select that. And now I could right click and say bridge edge loops, which you only can do if you've got the exact same number of vertices on one side as the other. But I wanted to show you physically creating those points with vertices, because that is a really common way to model, to join things together. You select the 4 vertices, you create a new face. Anyways, look at that. We've got what looks like a handle coming out of the mug. Now, if we look at our reference here, we've got it pretty close, but you can see that there's like, it's sharp, right? There's clearly like a crease here and a crease here. And we can do that just by adding in more loop cuts.
Yeah.
So I'm
Sure.
going to add in, well, I guess there's 2 ways to do it. One, I can actually just select this edge here. So holding down Alt, just select that and then double tap G and I can bring that in. But when I do that, this area becomes a little bit straight. Maybe not what I wanted. Let's have a look at front mode. Yeah, I might want a little bit more detail there, in which case I would add a loop cut. But, you know, it's really up to you. You might be able to just, you know, move this around and just kind of shape it. Like, look, we're learning Blender. That's really the goal of this. It's not necessarily to make a physically accurate mug. I don't want to overcomplicate things and make things feel like you have to do everything perfectly, but I also don't want to end up with like a trash result and then everyone be like, oh, we did all that effort and now it looks garbage. But you know, you could spend a lot of effort. You know, you could even try and get, like, if you look at, you know, there would be probably like a little line here, like the kind of, you know what I mean, like on the inner part of the thing. You could try and create that. You could really add a lot of detail. The only thing I'm really going to fix is right here where it's pinching. I'm just going to select that edge there and I'm going to double tap G and I'm just going to slide it up. So there's just a little less pinching. And then this part here, like you can see the shape of this face is being very distorted, right? You generally want to keep things as close to a squarish shape as possible, generally. And so I'm just going to select this edge at the bottom there, double tap G, and I'm just going to pull it out just to relieve a little bit of the tension there. And I mean, you can, yeah, there's like a tighter line there, but this will do. This is enough to be perceived as a coffee mug. Now, if you want to just move ahead with the tutorial and get on to the next part, which is going to be on materials and lighting, you can do that. However, if you want a little bit of a challenge, like a little bit of a homework, where you can try to use some skills but by yourself, you will see, looking at the photo here, that we also have a saucer, a little tiny plate for our mug. Now, I didn't include that in my final image. I just had the coffee mug just sitting on the table. But this is a great, very small thing that you could try to model by yourself using the skills that you've just learned to create something new. So how would you go about adding that saucer? You could have a try at it. It's a completely separate object, obviously, to your mug here. So even if you screw it up, worst case scenario is you just delete it, and then, you know, you'll still end up with something that I actually had for my final result, which was a mug without a saucer. But if you want to add that in, it'll be a way to kind of take some of the lessons that you've picked up already, and then try to remember them and the different steps and the things required to create it. Because whilst you've just created something now, it's the best time to try to recall that memory, so that in the future, maybe in a few days or a few weeks from now, when you try to do something yourself, it'll be a lot more readily available to recall that information. So if you want to have a go at doing that, feel free to. Otherwise, join me in the next part and we'll get onto some materials and texturing.
Materials and texturing. That's the next step. So can we do the saucer? Am I happy with this? Don't really think that should be that big, right? So if I grab that and this and then scale it. Why are you scaling that way? I want to scale it in the Y. No, and the Z. Yeah, sure. And now we're going to do scale it in the Y. We're going to bring it in. Pinch. And then, can I do the face? And wireframe, right? Boom. X-ray. Nope. Nope. Oh, is there no face in there, huh? That's why I can't do that. So I need to do this one, right? Boom. 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 Okay. Now get rid of X-ray, right? There we go. And then it gets a little bit fatter. It's the same thing here. I'm probably screwing all this up. Oh, no, not that one. Because I only want to scale it here, right? Scale. Boom. Let's go back here, shift up. Let's shift this guy, right? Grab and bring it in. Oh shit, there's multiple. Sure. There it goes. So it sort of goes like, okay, it's thin, and then it gets fatter as it goes up. But I don't know why it shifted. I think I did that. Okay. I think I accidentally did this, right? I mean, so this is Y, right? Y. I shift it here. Oh. Oh, no. See. I mean, it looks right. A. Shift N. All right, should I do the saucer? That's gonna be a difficult one, right? Should I do the saucer? Oh, look at chat. Best views on streamboo.com. Remove this space. Oh, okay. So what? Hour 25 minutes into the stream. Let's try the saucer. So, I'm gonna tab, right? Tab. I think it looks good. Looks good. Maybe it's just the lighting, but let's do top view. Yeah, it's a little off, but it's okay. It adds character. I don't know what I did to make it a little bit off, but it's okay. It's okay. So we want to Shift A, mesh, what's a circle? No, no, Control Z, Shift A, mesh, should I do another cylinder? Cube, plane, cone, let's do a cylinder, right? Jesus. Vortices. Shift A, mesh. Cylinder. I mean, that looks possibly right. Right? But how would I? All right, let's do this. This actually, maybe that's what that's for. All right, we're gonna go down here and be like, I want it, boom, right there. And now we do Shift A, mesh, cylinder. Oh, look, it has the same settings as before. Sure, let's do that. That looks good. Let's start with that. I don't want to keep moving that thing around. All right. Now we're going to go into tab, right? And the plate. It's a saucer, right? So we need to do what? Let's do, no. Let's select this and then do I, right? And then do E for an extrusion. We're going down just a little bit, right? Boom. We're going to add a mesh, right? Add generate, solidify. No, that gives it thickness. We don't want thickness. Never mind. I mean, I guess I could do I, right? Do another I. We'll bring this in. It's actually not what I wanted to do. I. No. I. We don't want to move it around like that. Let's just move it on the Z plane, right? We don't want it to go through. Something like that. No. Let's go. Grab Z. That didn't move anything, right? So if I back out. Okay, control, redo. Nope, control, oh, does it redo? What does it do? Redo. Control Shift Z, sorry. Sorry. All right, so we're making a plate. Now let's add a modifier, generate subdivision surface modifier. Simple. Two. Looks good. Ish. Okay. So now we're still working on faces. Let's go to a wireframe. No. Oh no. Oh no. Shoot. Shoot. Where's my mug? Boom. Let's turn off the mug for now. Turn off wireframe. Go back to normal. Okay. That's what I want, right? Sure. So can I do like, oh sure, I can do that. Oh, so I'm gonna have to do this. Then what? Oh, I guess I could do that and then do what? See, and bring it up. That, like making a bowl shape. Grab Z and sorry. Grab Z and then bring it up more. Sure, and then what? Do Control R and then do Control R and then. Oh, maybe that's why he did it from the top, right? He said Control R and then he's like, okay, well, I want it. Jeez. Louise. And then the thing you don't know about saucers, right? Let's probably add another one here, right? So we'll probably do another one right there. Give it slightly a lip. I think I did a good job. Then we're gonna do another one here, right? Can I do one here? No. I can't do one here. Maybe. No. Let's do. And then what happened if I did G? And then did it Control R. Can I do another one? Shit, I can't do it inside the circle. I mean, it looks good. A shift. And but then, so all the edges has to be on the outside or the inside? It's probably because it's normalized, right? It's subdivided by 2. So like if I turn this off, render, not render, real time. Yeah, so it looks normal. Yeah, sure. So if I went here and grabbed that and went to, and then went Z, right? Control R, right? Can I do one? Come on. I know I could do, there it goes. And then do that here. And then I turn this on. Would that look better? And I, yeah. Okay. Almost. So on cage. Oh. So if I did boom and then did X edge, would that just delete? No. Oh shit, that's the faces. X. Dissolve edges. Boom. Let's just rewind it. Looks good. Keep it that way. Now let's show the cup. What's the cup? Cup, mug. I don't know what you guys see.
Welcome.
I think it looks good. Let's turn off this. I got a little mug, a little saucer. Let's tab out of edit, right? Tab and do shade smooth. Ooh, look at that. So fancy. What's so fancy? Drinking out of cups. I think that's gonna do it for tonight, boys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Yep, that's gonna be do it for tonight live stream. We got an hour and 45 minutes in. We finished the cup, the mug, the coffee cup. And on my free time, I made a saucer. Let's just take a look at what he's gonna go through on the next section. Looks like a lot of talking. Okay. He went into a room for some reason. Okay, now we're focusing back on the donut. So we went on a side quest with the coffee mug. And now we're back on the donut. Oh shit, does he make a plate too? Oh man, that plate's probably gonna be better than what I just did. Alright, well, yep, that's gonna do it for this episode of Learning Blender Part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I hope the audio worked just fine. I kept messing with it since it was so low last time. I hope it didn't pop your ears when I got loud. Well, have a good night, y'all.